Okay. A lot of people think that horses are big, intimidating, scary animals. I felt the same way before I started to ride horses. Horses are actually very loving and sweet animals if they're trained properly or have any training at all. Riding these big animals have a lot of health benefits more than you can think of. I call horses divine mirrors. They reflect back the emotions you put in. If you put in love and respect and kindness and curiosity, the horse will return that. We're going to look at what horseback riding is, what the major advantages are to your health, and some disadvantages to an overall rider can be. So what is horseback riding? Horseback riding, or also known as equestrianism, is the sport of riding or driving horses. I ride Western style. This is not the kind that you see on TV where the rider makes the horse jump over the hurdles. That is known as English riding. Western riders usually ride trails or in bigger groups than English riders. There are also many different competitions that a Western rider can perform in. Some of these include cutting, roping, barrel racing, and pleasure. Horseback riding has many advantages to your health, both physically and mentally. You have to move your body with the movements of the horse. This results in a lot of physical participation. Building your core muscles and your leg and hip muscles in general are most of what horseback riding has to do with. You also need to have some upper body strength to lift the saddle onto your horse. You have to bend down and throw it on. Excuse me. You also need to have upper body strength to tighten the saddle too, so it doesn't fall off while you're riding. You also need balance and coordination. This goes along with building muscle, but you also must have pretty good balance to ride a horse. If you are leaning to one side or the other, you will fall off. This is where the saddle comes to help, but if your saddle will start to slip and lean to whatever side you are. Coordination is also a key part of riding horses. The faster the horse starts to go, the more you need to make sure you're moving with the horse and not just sitting there. This coordination will make you and the horse stay balanced. You also get cardiovascular exercise. There are certain types of riding where you would need to use more energy and effort, which would result in cardio exercise. Some of these different types of riding would include doing barrel racing. This is a fast-paced sport where you are trying to make the horse run as fast as it can around 3 barrels in a specific pattern. This requires a lot of energy. Running or cantering the horse would also result in using more energy. You have to move your body with the horse, which also goes along with staying balanced and coordinated. You need to be in the moment with your horse at all times. A horse trusts its rider as much as you trust your horse. Stress relief is probably one of the biggest advantages to riding horses. You quit thinking about what is going on in the outside world, like what troubles you're going through or anything like that. It's just a time and place to clear your mind. Most of the time, it comes naturally to people to just sit there, relax, and have a good time. Patience and focus also goes along with the stress relief. When you forget about everything else going on, you focus on you and your horse. You must make sure you are paying attention at what you are doing around your horse. Some horses spook easier than others, which could result in someone or even your horse getting hurt. Just like any other animal, horses require patience as well. For example, some horses will throw their heads if they don't like something. You need to have the patience to try to figure out what's making the horse throw its head. Horseback riding can help increase your self-confidence too. After conquering the fact that you can handle such a big animal, it makes you feel good about yourself overall. Thinking about controlling such a big animal can be intimidating to some people. Some of the disadvantages of riding horses, not that there are many, but there are some. If you're a beginner, you're going to be sore for a couple of days, which isn't very fun. If you are new to riding, all of the muscles that you don't usually use are going to be sore for the next couple of days. I think this is the only major downfall of riding horses. I remember not being able to barely walk the day after my first time riding. I also went on like a 7 or 8 hour trail ride too, so I don't recommend doing that first. I recommend riding for an arena or around maybe some trails at home for an hour or two when first starting out. Horse riding can also be dangerous. Something that may stop someone from horse riding is how dangerous the sport can actually be. Any sport is dangerous, but you are dealing with a 1,200-pound animal when riding. They could step on your toe and accidentally break it. You could fall off and break your ribs or hurt your back. The possibilities of what could happen are endless. I have fallen off twice, and I thank the Lord I wasn't hurt that bad. A horse and I have also fallen on the road together, which was scary because he landed on my foot and my leg. My ankle could have been broken, but it wasn't, and thank God my horse wasn't hurt either. In conclusion, you have seen what horseback riding is, or consists of. You can see how beneficial horseback riding can be to one's health. We've also went over some of the disadvantages that any rider could have. Riding these big animals has many benefits to our overall health. Horseback riding has helped me have not as much lower back pain. This means it could help somebody with the same problem. There are many positive and negative things about horseback riding, but I could have wrote this paper about football. There would have been just as many positive and negative things. Now that you know how beneficial horseback riding can be for your health, are you ready to go ride?